Okay, I said I'm completely inspired by the concept self-discovery. So I should compliment the organizers, ALBE as well as Shasun College in bringing this concept. Integration of your heart and mind is eternal. That's ultimate. While education gives you the civilization, the meditation or the prayer gives you the realization. That's nothing but integration within yourself. Education has given me gold medal. The golden moments came from meditation, spirituality, the prayers, whichever way you want to describe. Education is all about job eligibility. Meditation has given me life flexibility. Education has given me the passion to perform. The compassion has come out of meditation. Education has given me enough colors, colorful happenings, cutting across the globe multiple times, recognizing each and every culture. So the colorful mind has come out of education. The purification of my mind has come out of my meditation. So self-discovery, what you're talking about, is all about introspection. While education has given me the appreciation, the introspection has given me out of meditation. Education has sharpened my intelligence over the period of time. Lifelong learning is what I do. Meditation has deepened my awareness, the insight into my internal integrations, inward looking, recognizing the purpose of living, recognizing who I am to who am I. That's the kind of reorganization required. So education and meditation, education and spiritual values is nothing but journey of self-discovery. It's a journey. It's a continuing journey, and that is happiness. Happiness is all about contention. If you aim at short term, you cultivate flowers. If you aim at medium term, you cultivate trees. If you aim at eternity, you build humanity. You understand the purpose of your existence. We are in a lease in this space. Continuing integration with education and meditation is a source of inspiration. Inspiration is getting started. Motivation is what keeps us going. If you need to charge your gadgets, what do? You charge it through battery. If you need to be energetic, enthusiastic, and recognize the positivity in you, everything is an opportunity. Life itself is an opportunity. That is my conception. There's no second thought. Every day is interesting. Everything is interesting. Every day is inspirational. Every day is motivational. Everything is positive. Everything is productive. Everything is constructive. Everything is meaningful. Everything is purposeful. You keep discovering your ignorance on a daily basis. Perhaps 60 years before, I thought I knew everything. Today, I know one thing. I keep learning. I keep recognizing my ignorance. So it's all about what I nurture within myself. Your thought becomes action. Action becomes habit. Habits become character. Character become your destiny. It's all about what you put in, what you nurture. Good in, good out. You go. Garbage in, garbage out. So your ability to convert auto positive, everything, even challenging times are always there. Dr. Whelan was mentioning about changing dynamics in today's context. Of course, 35 million people are impacted around the world. We lost over 1 million people. India itself, 6.5 million people are impacted. We lost nearly 100,000 people. This is not ordinary numbers. It's a huge paralysis. In economic terms, it's global contraction. Can you convert this challenge into opportunity? Dr. Whelan was mentioning about digital governance. That's absolutely valid. And precisely, if you understand your purpose of living, we all will add to this planet enduring values. Not only we have to create a better world, better citizenship to this world. That's the purpose. Elimination of extreme poverty, gender equality, universal health care, universal education, peace, justice, global warming and climate change, animal extinction, rising sea level, increasing temperature. These are not ordinary issues. These issues have to be understood in substance. Today, you as young minds, you are more than 1.3 billion people in this planet. Nearly 16% of the global population is youth, less than 25. India itself, 66% is less than 35. Nearly 40% is less than 25. This is a huge demographic dividend. We are all collectively responsible to create a better world and better citizenship to this world. If you understand this changing dynamics in the current context, we have economic risk in aggregate terms in the world today. A contraction in the world, according to International Monetary Fund, is around 4.9%. Advanced economies grossly underperforming to the tune of 8%. Negative growth. Emerging markets, so-called developing economies, they are contracting to the tune of 3%. India last quarter was 23.9% contraction. These numbers are staggering, alarming. After 1930 depression, we are getting into huge contraction. Technically, we are under the water. Business continuity is at stake. From disaster recovery, we have to move to business continuity. That's why, world over, initiatives are taken by technocrats, politicians, economists, bankers, coming together to improve the liquidity, improving the solvency, to make sure it doesn't disrupt the world, the paralysis doesn't disrupt the world. That's the kind of reorganization we need, the monetary policy, fiscal policy. These are terms which our technocrat has to use. The central bank design and deliver the money supply. Inflation, they control. They do the monetary policy. The politicians, the government, they design and deliver the fiscal policy. There has to be an alignment. That's what precisely happening. In this current context, over 25 trillion has been pumped to make sure the liquidity crisis doesn't become a solvency issue. That's the global economics. India itself has taken enough initiatives. Over 10% of the GDP has been spelled out. to improve the small and medium-sized entrepreneurs, to give some freebies here and there, to have subsistence. That's one side of it, economics. That's a challenge. We have human cost, which I mentioned just now. How many millions we lost. Across the globe, 195 countries are impacted, not one or two. We have environment, which I just mentioned. We have to create a carbon neutral society. 27% of the carbon emission comes from China. 15% nearly comes from United States. 10% from Europe. 7% from India. Global carbon emission. We have a compliance architecture as designed by United Nations. Conference of the Parties, COP21 in 2015 has agreed, and everyone is supposed to reduce the carbon emission. Now you are seeing reflection in the sky. Now there's a huge innovation going on in terms of energy mix. Alternatives are sought through. Carbon is factored into the trading mechanism. Carbon trading is coming meaningfully. From banking perspective, we are also looking at creating a green banking, whether investment or lending. That's one of my research compendium. So that is on the environmental side. On the social side, we have recognition of the fact this is contagious. This pandemic, a couple of days before, the WHO was mentioning, either we swim together or we get wiped out. That's the world. We live in an interconnected, interdependent world. The challenges are very many. So how do we eliminate these challenges? You can map these challenges into opportunities. That's what exactly the world economy is engaged in. If I again go back to the example of what Dr. Whelan has mentioned on the digital governance, today we are recognizing food security is important. We are setting the right kind of thought leadership to eliminate extreme poverty. Now online, offline education, offshore, onshore education, bring in the gender equality. Make sure everyone is educated. It is becoming a knowledge society. You are inviting me on the webinar. World is becoming an integrated society. Doesn't matter whether you are in Barcelona or Bangladesh. Whether you are in Dhaka or Doha, doesn't matter. Whether you are in Silicon Valley or in Chennai, doesn't matter. You can integrate intellectual excellence and come together. That's a huge opportunity. Recognize this. Reduce it. Gender equality. 29% of the working force in India is women. Diversification is happening around the world. Gender equality in the even the corporate boardrooms. We need to make sure we give better opportunities. Women are good entrepreneurs. Women are good politicians. We have seen the reflection. Angela Merkel in Germany. We also seen the reflection in New Zealand. Jacinda as a prime minister. So extraordinary set of opportunities are cropping. Bring in the gender equality. Reduce the carbon emission. Create a carbon neutral society. Change the energy mix. Bring in the digital governance in the government side. Take India, for example. What cannot be done with this younger population? Billions of internet users, nearly 1.5 billion mobile users. You have financial inclusion as pronounced by the current Prime Minister. That's a huge opportunity, financial inclusion. But kill the parallel economy. Throw the black money. Eliminate terrorism, anti-money laundering is the measure which can be done. Everything is digital, everything is accounted, everything is inclusive, and that's what this changing world is all about. That's what the changing dynamics is all about. If you understand what sort of opportunity India is going to come out with, you can replicate the Silicon Valley in India itself. You don't need to go to Silicon Valley. You are not location-centric. You are information-centric. You are not product-centric. You are people-centric. You are solution-centric. Look at the opportunity. One thing we have learned out of this crisis, human beings have got the biggest ability to transform. Within a standard time, they all got reorganized. Change in the mindset to have change in attitude. And that's what exactly the human is capable of doing it. That itself, it proves that we can redefine ourselves. The change starts from you and me. Everyone has to redefine themselves. In functional terms, if it is a corporate enterprise, I do five initiatives I've taken as an institution. First, as a part of remedial management, R, number one, 5R, remedial management. That is from disruption to business continuity, I mentioned to you. Restructuring debt capacity as a financial institution, second one. Third one, rationalization. I have to reduce the cost. I know how to do it. Policies or procedures or monitoring consumptions or people. That's what exactly we have to do. That's the third R. Revenue enhancement is a fourth one. So the list goes on. So every institution can look at objectively and create an opportunity. Everything is an opportunity, as I said. It's all how you discover internally yourself and then externally in your dispositions, whichever be the engagement you are in. If you're a banker, you're a banker. But the opportunity lies in. Look at the commercial disputes in India. Now bureaucracy can be minimized. Commercial courts are now on digital. Business can thrive faster. So the example which Dr. Whelan has mentioned, I'm just connecting it for you to understand. This is the biggest opportunity for India to be more productive, more purposeful, and transform the digital India. Digital governance, e-government can make sure our biggest problem of parallel economy, black money. India is not poor. India has got some poor people. Our heritage, our culture, our value systems are second to none. Our India is transcending borders. Our culture is transcending. Our music is transcending. Our cinema is transcending. Our literature is transcending. Our food is transcending. India is globalizing it today. Indian culture is today recognized arguably as the finest, age-old, meaningful, back to basic culture. And that's what the human system is designed to deliver. It's all about recognition of the fact our philosophy is profound in human ingenuity. And that's what exactly we are recognizing as an opportunity. If you understand as a young mind, you will nurture good thoughts. Only your thoughts can change your lifestyle and substance. Understand this. Everything is a positive reflection. Andrew Carnegie, what was he? What he ended up with? His ability to identify the positivity in every person he interacted was his biggest strength. And that's what made him transform. Socrates, he says, as long as you have a deep desire in you, you can convert anything. He took a young boy and immersed him in the water. When the boy turned blue, then he asked him, what is the reason for your success? He asked that boy, when you were under the water, what was that most desired need? He was gasping and said, yeah, I was asking for air. That was the real need. That's the trigger. As long as you wish for it, you have a deep sense of commitment for it, you are going to get it right. And that's what exactly the trigger you need in real terms. That's what the opportunity is all about. Abraham Lincoln, what he did, everything was a failure. His love life was a failure. As a senator, he was never elected. He was never elected in his parliamentary sessions. At the age of 47, he has failed as a vice president. 52, he was the president of the United States. Look at the trait. Success does not mean absence of failure. That's a message. Recognize this. It's a huge opportunity. Now, we need to understand freedom. As young minds, you aspire for it. Freedom is a controlled desire. It is not uncharted. It is not uncontrolled. Desire, inequality, ignorance. These are the trinity as a bondage. That's what Vivekananda says. Arise and awake. The world is yours. That's what we need. We need to articulate solution within ourselves. The minute you internally govern, everything is a reflection of your own thoughts. Happiness is within you. The anger is the bigger danger for you. Convert this anger into opportunities. When you introspect, recognize life is an echo. And you can understand you are only reflecting your thoughts. You are only interpreting your own insinuation or plus outside. If you are irritated, you are irritating others. If you are angry inside, you are not able to connect your heart and mind. You are exhibiting your anger. You are the most hurt person if you are an angry person. There's a lady who got really angry because his son was killed. He was a drunken driver case study. And she, throughout the rest of her life, she was advocating what has happened to her life. The solitude was turning into success for transmission of human endeavors. There are many, many case studies. So this is a reflection of your own thinking. The problem is you, the solution is you. It's all your conception, internal integration. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mata, Pita, Guru Devam. This is what I know. This is what I integrated when I was young. Education and meditation. There's no better substitute than your mother. If the sheer love of your parents can integrate within you, after all, your internal integration comes out of praying them. That's what is Ganapati's story. What a profound logic it is. If you understand these dynamics, if you worship your parents, you have done everything. You have done everything. You don't need external traits. Everything will come to you. It is automatic. Tough to recognize. And that's where you need internal integration. That's where you need prayers. That's where you need meditation. My life story since Purnima has met me in a function where I was Salute to Mother, a program called Salute to Mother, where I was telling முந்தித்தவம் கிடந்து 300 நாட்சுமந்து அந்திப்பகலாய் வந்தித்து தனி மனிதனை பெற்றெடுக்கிறாள் ஒரு தாய். அந்த தாயினுடைய அன்பு என்னை மனிதனாக்கியது. தந்தையினுடைய அறிவு என்னை சிந்திக்க வைத்தது. இதுதான் சொன்னாங்க. அன்னையும் பிதாவும் முன்னறி தெய்வம். தாயிற் சிறந்தொரு கோயிலும் இல்லை. This is what I learned. Then the Guru. குலருள் தெய்வம் கொள்கை மேன்மை கலை பயில் தெளிவு கட்டுரை வன்மை நிலைமலை நிறைகோல் மனநிகர் மாட்சியும் உலகியல் அறிவோடு அமைப்பவன் ஆசிரியர். If you understand all this, then the respective God comes in. If you understand these dynamics, Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam, even when I was honored in Washington, my first word was this. Let me show you the clip because I think the connectivity is, there is a disruption. You can only see, you cannot hear. This is what I was told. But nevertheless, I thought I will submit some of the important points which were turning points for my, if you call it as a success. I keep climbing my ladder. There are many steps I have to climb. So I talked about global economy. I'm not going to dwell on the global economy. Now, this is what exactly I mentioned. And digital governance, which I just showed. And the fourth industrial revolution is a bigger opportunity for you. As young minds, you have to understand why fourth industrial revolution. You cannot hear the video, but I'm going to sum it up faster. First industrial revolution was confined to cotton spinning and locomotive. The second industrial revolution was confined to machine assembly and electrification. Third industrial revolution was PCs and the fourth industrial revolution, what you're seeing is the important part that is very important for you to recognize. the digital tools which you're getting are artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? Spirituality is augmented intelligence. That's it. Spirituality is nothing but augmented intelligence, if you understand what is spirituality. So the most important point is to recognize all these tools. Blockchain is there today, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things. You're going to have enormous opportunity in terms of digital governance. You're going to have a brain net. You're going to have uploading of memory or downloading of your memory. You're going to have robo-docs. The doctors are going to be through robots. You're going to have robo-lawyers. You're going to have body parts connected. Like you put a pacemaker, today's context, in heart, you will have entire connectivity in piecemeal by supplementary solutions. So world at large is terrifying as well as mystifying in today's context. The choice is yours. Are you going to pick it up and make it happen? That's what you should do in the changing dynamics which is impacting you today. You have the opportunity. You have better governance. Use it to your advantage. Create a better world for the generations to come. And that's what we should do. As our side, we have to do the same. Every human being, if he understands the purpose of living, he will understand, he will create better values for the future generations. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. So recognition of the fact that you have to keep doing the right kind of initiatives. Excellence is not one-time act. It's a habit. Again, you have to have the habit. So you cannot create better world unless you change yourself. Beautiful words of Abdul Kalam. When there is beauty in your character, there is harmony in your home. When there is harmony in your home, there is order in the nation. When there is order in the nation, there is peace in the world. So you create a better world, nobody else. And that's what the exact challenge is all about. You have to recognize these changes and challenges are all very, very important for you to become successful. So recognize this opportunity. You are the change. At the same time, yesterday was Gandhi Jayanti. Let us also think about Mahatma Gandhi. The 7 sins which he mentioned. Knowledge without character. Commerce without morality. Pleasure without consciousness. Science without humanity. Politics without principle. Religion without sacrifice. As wealth without work is of no substance. So why do you want to do that? Everything has got a purpose. You have to make sure you create the value without endangering the solvency and the purpose. As long as the world exists, good and evil will exist. Recognize that. It's not going to be only good. As long as the evil exists, the good will also be recognized. It's your ability to articulate which is good, which is not good. That's where you need to integrate yourself. That's what we call it as self-realization. Tattvam. Recognition. Tattvam. Realize yourself. That's it. That's the essence of the whole human design. As young minds, you have to understand that's huge in terms of substance. Your vision, your mission and values are integral. And you have to understand, I only draw from my own story. I can't only preach, I have to practice. And what I practice is what I'm telling you. That's why I thought it's appropriate to bring this story. Now, self-realization is what I've said in Washington. Watch this. You're not going to hear. It was self-realization. The God is within you. It is your parents which are setting the stone for your creation, and they are your first God. Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. This is what my language says. Self-realization, integrating. So, setting goals. Prashanti was mentioning about Kritika. I ran for 8 kilometers to write the exams. True. because I saw the challenging times when I was young. But at the same time, I want to have better education. So I studied 10 kilometers away from my school. And that's where the challenge came. My parents couldn't afford. He was a Sanskrit teacher, Hindi teacher, my father. We're a family of 4 children and then parents. So it was not easy for them to spend school fees plus additional expenses. So I had to come out of meritocracy. And that's what I set the goal. Education is ultimate. And I worked on it. And I had to, the last day of the exams, I have to run. And that's what the showcase is all about.
Oh my god, my exam is at 10. Has Mayavaram bus gone?
The bus is yet to come.
What? It's getting late for the exams. How will I go now?
Boy, don't depend on this bus, okay? Catch the next bus and go, or just run.
So I was running. I ran to my home. Something has to happen. I took my cycle. I was driving.
Ma, the bus hasn't come. I'm taking the cycle.
Ride carefully, Rama.
See the fate. The cycle got punctured. After 2 kilometers, we were living in Terrarandur. And number 10 bus I missed. That is Komal to Mayavaram. Now Mayiladuthurai. When the cycle got punctured, I had to run. There you go. The cycle, 2 kilometers, cycle got punctured. Still, I have to go 8 more kilometers. So I reached the school by running. Fire in me, determination in me that I kept the bicycle on the road. I took the books. I was running 8 kilometers. By 10:20, I was in the school. I wrote the exam. I got the admission for the free hostel. I mean, that's a drive. That's a determination. That's the vision and the goal. That's what I want you to do. Every ordinary person can become extraordinary. There's nothing impossible. So you can, if you have the considered focus. And that's what I want to tell you. Knowledge. Then I used to teach. When I was doing 8th standard, I used to teach for 9th, 10th. So it's all about hard work. It's all about working. I was a paper boy. The next principle which I understood, it is knowledge, again, with self-determination can combine and take you places. I got admission. I have to work hard. There's no substitute for hard work. There's no other substitute for hard work. That's what I learned. I started realizing my family still can't afford this kind of education. I started teaching when I was 9th standard, 10th and 11th. I used to get free books. That's the considerations. It was easy for me to learn 10th and 11th mathematics, and at the same time consideration was setting in. I always wanted to see my mother every week. 10 kilometers, I have to get into a bus. So I used to, go to see her every week. I went to the... So I was a paper boy and I was working in a supermarket. I earned money. I was studying. I was teaching. And I was supporting my family. And that was a huge opportunity. That was a good learning. My child, when I showed them all these places, my first daughter and my family and my second daughter, all of us, when we showcased all this, my daughter asked me, how is it possible? How did you customer than Ilian Kata? Customer that is, I wanted it. That's the experience. Struggle is ultimate. Enjoy it. You will convert everything possible. The drive is within you. Compassion. Compassion is very important. Integrity and trust are interconnected. Passion and compassion. Education and meditation. If you have compassion, you are recognizing you have empathy. Sympathy is all about I feel what you're going through. That's sympathy. Empathy is all about I feel as you are. I'm feeling what you're going through in total time. And that is what compassion is all about. And that's what I did. I could have an opportunity. So let me move on to skill development. I've heard about various skill development ALBE is doing it. So essentially, what at a young age, whether school or dance or music or art, whatever you learn now is going to be with you. That's the foundation for you. That's what I did. I used to be in the theater, in my hometown, and then it helped me for All India Radio, television. Then, when I was in the global stage, nothing is a discomfort for me, whether it is Bloomberg or BBC, in terms of economic commentaries or banking or finance or technology, or even humanitarian causes I represent at times. So it is easy for you. Whatever you equip now is very vital for you to professionally advance yourself. And that's what the purpose of the mission, I suppose. That's interesting. So learn the skills. It's very important. Equally important is your skill development. That's what I learned in my early days. Essentially, to subsidize my education, I used to act in theaters. I used to act in dramas.
Please lend your support and make him win in the elections. My mimicry too played a vital role in Rajashekhar
I was doing
being
mimicry
elected that year.
and I used to get money, consideration for it. And I used to buy my first grinder in my house for my mother, who was manually toiling. I used to replace a good grinder and hand it over to her. I saw the light in her face. These are small things, but come a long way when it comes to your personality makeup. So that's an example. How I became a banker is also a good learning. Everything is an opportunity. I received my scholarship, National Merit Scholarship, and I gave it to my friend because his mother was not well. That's a lie he told. And essentially, he ran away with that money. His father was a very decent person. He advised me and he gave some materials for me to sell and then pay my college fees. But I realized character, capacity, and capital is very vital. Collateral is important for you to lend money. You have to look at the credibility of the individual and the institution where you are lending money or investing. The trust is one aspect, but making sure you are recognizing this. And this is an example here.
Muthu, is your mother unwell?
Yes, Rama. I need some money. I will return in just 4 days.
I have only my scholarship money to pay my college fees. This will help you. Take good care of your mom.
Thank you so much, Rama.
You will return in 4 days, right?
Definitely.
Alright. Muthu did not keep his words.
So that's how it is. Everything is all about team leadership, and the team drives the value. Your commitment, no individuals achieve anything. Responsibility gravitate to person who can shoulder it. Responsibility is ultimate, and you have to be socially enduring your values. And that's what exactly you have to understand. Rich or poor, you have to necessarily recognize it's all about you as a person. Recognize the society, recognize the family, and it's all interconnected. What resonates in one part reflects. You need good relationship. Customer relationship is important. Regulatory relationship is important. Social relationship is important. Family relationship is important. And these are all vital for you to be balanced. And that's what exactly I did when it comes to. So when it comes to women leadership, I mentioned to you resilience. So then I
We
explained
all experience different emotions every day.
when it comes to mindful management. I'm skipping all this simply because number one, the camera is not working. Number two, rather your voice recording is not possible. Number two, the time is almost up. I want to make sure that I answer all your questions. So it's all about recognition of the opportunity. Since it's a women's college, I thought it's appropriate to bring in. Women are second to none. And four women in my life who inspired me. That is my mother to start with. She was truly inspirational. My wife was a source of stability. My two daughters are the blessings of God. So I have highest respect, and I want to make sure that I bring in every form the equality in my social commitment. Sustainability is all about the recognition of the fact that you are purposeful to the society as well. Now, when it comes to how I did for the green banking, just to watch this video and perhaps. So you may not be in a position. This is Secretary General, global warming and climate change. As a bank, I'm engaged around the world with this alligator and pipe, and showcasing the importance of global warming. And this is United Nations. Again, we are committed as a financial institutions, and I keep adding value. One of my research material is also when Chennai was started in 2015. I was very much there the next day to do some support. This is in Rome, where the Arab Bank. This is the bank. This is for renewable energy, and we do lend with a purpose. A portion of our risk-weighted capital, not all. It's all about recognizing the opportunity, making sure. This is last year in Amsterdam, and this is a women's college. Last year I addressed them convocation. Last year, Washington, I spoke about green banking, and this year I addressed digital governance. That is just a month before COVID spread. So plenty of my own practice showcased you for you to recognize that everything is possible as long as you have will and determination. But everything with a purpose. Your ethics and governance, internal recognition of the fact that you have bigger opportunities for you to become successful. Discipline is important. Either you have discipline or you regret for it. When duty becomes your desire, it becomes a delight. There's nothing as luck. Luck is your hard work. And that's what I believe in. You tax your body, you get fitness. Tax your mind, you get knowledge. Keep doing it. You have to go through the middle way. Never overdo anything. Recognition of the fact that you have to be moderate in pursuit of senses. The physical body is only transitory. The subtle body, which recognize your senses, enjoyment comes out of those senses, moderated. The real purpose is to be transitory. That's a soul. That's why we are on a lease in this planet. That will move from one cell to another one. If you understand Dharma theory, you will understand what I'm saying. It's all about not the physical alone. Your physical body is important. Your subtle body is important. Your casual body, your transitory body is recognizing everything. Everything gets logged in. You oppress, suppress the truth. Truth will prevail. Truth will be with you. Truth will always recognize you. And that is integrity. That is consciousness. That is your self-awareness. That is discovery. Self-discovery is all about recognizing this. Understand the truth is within you. The solution is within you. The internal integration within you. The happiness is within you. You will be good. You will do good. And that's what the purpose of our existence, isn't it? So self-discovery is all about recognition of fact, that recognize that you are soul. You are not a body, you are not a mind. And everything what you do is measurable. And on the judgment day, you will have it. You will recognize when you become mortal. You will understand the dynamics of these changes are purposeful. Everything is interconnected, interdependent in this world. Humility. Ultimately, you will recognize that is ultimate. If you can have professional pride, that's understandable. You don't need vanity, but you definitely need humility. If you understand you are here for a purpose in this planet, you will add value to this cosmos, and you will create better world, better citizenship. And that's what self-discovery is all about. And that's what I know. That's what I've been doing. And that's what I want you to know. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention.
Yeah. So the first question is from Shreya. Shreya, please go on.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you had once mentioned the three important C's: character, capacity, and capital. In our life and career, how can we adjust a person's character correctly?
That's what your combination of education and meditation gives you. You can easily see through anyone. See, birds of the same feather flock together, right?
Yes.
Two compatible systems work together. The inter-system interface comes in technology terms. How will you assess a person? That's where the deep awareness, which I mentioned, you will be in a position to, interpret rightly. Judgment, your judgment will become more measured. So it doesn't come overnight. It's persistence. It is our ability to recognize the person's capacity and the character comes out of your, not only your intelligence, your awareness, deep-rooted awareness. That's why you should engage in prayers or meditation in addition to education. That's an integration which I talk about, because your whole concept is now on the self-discovery. That's a beautiful concept.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shreya.
Thank you, sir. So we have the next question from Soumya. Soumya, please. Sir. Can I repeat the question on behalf of Soumya?
Yeah.
Yeah. So her question is basically that we all know that you have achieved many things in your life, right? So, and which one do you think is a significant one?
See, recognition comes in. You don't aim at recognition. You keep doing the right thing. That's all I would say. Nothing is to be disregarded. Everything is important. But I think among the recognition, the government of India honored me for a non-resident, highest honor, that is Pravasiya Bharatiya Saman, and by His Excellency the President of India in 2017. I dedicated to my mother. In fact, my mother received I think that's the great joy. My mother received immediately on the dais. She was called, and I submitted to her along with my family and children. I think it's a purpose. I just wanted to make sure the hard work my parents have done, they partake in the success, if you attribute as a success. And she was there all along. She was in my school school ranking. She was in my college graduation. She was when I was a chartered accountancy, when I was honored in Washington, when I was honored in Geneva, when I was honored in Sri University, Sharda University. In fact, Sharda University, she received the PhD. On the dais, I told them on condition that she should receive. That's a love and affection that she has taught me. That she has her ability to give me the right kind of direction, what is an enabler for my standing today. I think I value that Government of India recognition has the highest one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for wonderful answer. Thank you so much, sir.
And we have the next question from Harsha. Harsha, please go on.
Good day, sir. You are a role model to many of us, sir. Who do you take up as a role model in your school days, sir?
My parents. I said this. Parents.
That's nice.
It is. If you take your parents as your role model, that love is unconditional. Everything will come to you. You just trust them, operate them as God. As I said, Mata Pita Guru Deva. If you have that belief, you are blessed. There's no second thought. They inspired me, and they keep motivating. There's no second thought. So you try it, and I'm sure you're doing it. So it'll always you're doing it.
Yes.
It'll always the best blessing come from parents.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. So we'll take the last question for the session, and that is from Dharani. Dharani, please go on.
Good day, sir. Good day, sir.
Good day, Dharani.
Sir, what is it that keeps you motivated, and is there anything you've practiced to keep yourself energized always?
See, enthusiasm is a result of your own, again, integration. You'll never have a dull day as long as you nurture right thoughts. If you only take positive thinking, you take only positive inputs, or even negative inputs, you convert into positive. Every challenge you see an opportunity, which I mentioned, how can you go wrong? See, as long as you don't short circuit your system, see, your body, as your mind and the soul have to integrate. And then you find harmony within you, and your disposition becomes more purposeful. You will show it. See, many people who are not enthusiastic because they fight inside. They fight inside. They oppress the truth. Right? So that is where the conflict comes. Trust, love, and establish within yourself, you will accept the truth, only truth, and you will have deep insight. And what keeps me motivating is the good habits, which I mentioned. It could be prayers. I do prayer every day. That's what I learned from my childhood, and it's minimum time. Like you charge your battery, as I said. If you don't charge your battery, will it work? No. Your body is always, see, every sleep is a rehearsal to death, right? When you get up, you need to charge. Physically, you have to charge yourself. Physical body, you have to charge yourself by doing exercise, or you walking, or swimming, or playing. Mental side, how will you balance? Your mind is your source of inspiration and energy and enthusiasm. Inspiration can get you started. Motivation is what you keep it going, and it is not a one-time act. You will not be in a good mood today. Tomorrow you are in a bad mood. No, that is people will not accept you in total terms. If you have to be in good balance always, and the middle way is always important. Not to get too much excited on and anything, and making sure you have a fine balance within yourself. That will come out of your meditation. And that's what I do. If you ask me, I do meditation. I definitely devote half an hour. Even at times when I run a global institution, I take time out 4 to 5 times a day, at least a couple of minutes, or sometimes 5 minutes, 10 minutes between the meetings. I take a break and I do my prayer. Then I get charged again. I'm refreshed completely. I'm regenerated. You try it. It will work. See, it's all about you are the source of happiness. You are the source of your own motivation. Nobody can motivate you or demotivate you. That's self-discovery, isn't it? That's the subject which you have engaged in today. Self-discovery is all about completely understanding that you are the source of your own success or failure. You radiate positivity by your own internal integration. You think positive, you exhibit positivity. You think negative, you exhibit. If you are angry inside, as I said, you are angry outside. If you are upsetting others, you are hurting inside. If you are, as I said, even anger, it is because you are not able to connect your heart and mind. That's why you are angry, and you hurt yourself first before hurting others. You think you are hurting others? No, you are hurting yourself first. It's all about. Everyone goes through positives and negatives. Every circumstances, you will not have a seamless drive. Everything is all about good and evil. You keep clearing it by your own internal integration, and everything will become easy for you. You will be a problem solver. You will make it happen, not let it happen. You are operating like a thermostat instead of like a thermometer. You can a thermometer. You don't need to monitor only good and bad. You have to convert the negatives into positives. That should be your role. You have to be a problem solver always. You have to be a solution provider always. How can you find solution for others unless you have a solution within yourself? You conquer yourself. Take for example Buddha. You conquer the rest of them. If you are not able to control yourself, if you don't have the cybernetic control within you, what you can control? You can control nothing. How can you control external when you are not able to control your own physical body or subtle body? And that's the concept. That's how you are designed. Today, human created with this concept in purpose. So, Dharani, you can solve everything.
Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
தரணி ஆள வேண்டும் புரியுதா உங்களுக்கு? தரணி மீன்ஸ் உலகம். உங்களை நீங்க வென்றுட்டீங்கன்னா உலகத்தை வென்றுடலாம்.